Alexandra Ignatova, Moskovskая область.
Honored coach of the SSR Tatyana TRUSOVA commented on the current state of Alexandra TRUSOVA in an interview with TRUSOVA, noting that the skater is not yet in optimal shape, but is confident that she will be able to recover to her peak. On Sunday, TRUSOVA presented her free program at the test skates of the Russian national team, where she made a mistake when landing on the first element. TRUSOVA emphasized that she does not single out any of the skaters yet, since she has only seen them at their first skates, and still needs to observe them in competitive practice. She noted that all the athletes demonstrate diverse and good programs, and expressed hope to see their masterpieces in the near future. As for TRUSOVA, she is not yet in shape, but she will definitely be. I saw her training, so I have no doubt, the specialist added. Alexandra TRUSOVA and now Ignatova came to the test skates in St. Petersburg with one goal, to check whether she was capable of returning to big-time sports, namely, to be one of the best. It seemed that she could do it. But the very first failure of the short program confused the principal figure skater. Sasha already doubted whether she would be able to plunge into the whirlwind of competitions again. Or maybe she was simply afraid of competition with the Russian champion. After all, despite the step out and the loss of the cascade, Adelia Petrosian looks incredibly dangerous. Tubbers' student did not skimp and immediately showed a perfect triple axel. The start of the new 2024-2025 season in figure skating traditionally fell on the test skates, which are taking place this year in St. Petersburg. The first to take to the ice were representatives of the fair sex, and the honor of opening the Festival of Sports and Art fell to the incomparable Alexandra TRUSOVA, who performed under her husband's last name. And the skater really did appear in a completely new image. Femininity now definitely suits Sasha. The new short program to the song Best Mucho suited the athlete very well, who began to interpret the music better and place accents. A languid atmosphere covered the yubileni as soon as the skater began to dance. Smooth movements, beautiful, but not fast spins that would not have suited the tempo of the melody, and, of course, jumps. The double dip and triple flip turned out great, but the second element in the cascade of triple lutz and toe loop failed to work out. But this did not knock TRUSOVA Ignatova off her goal at all. She finished her performance on a wonderful note. It seemed that she should be happy, because the skater takes her intentions very seriously, but Sasha's perfectionism has not gone away. Bad. Definitely. But better than a training. It was really bad there, I would say. It's bad in relation to the fact that, in principle, I hadn't made any mistakes in the short program for a long time, before coming to Novogorsk for the training camp. I don't consider this a comeback, these are still trial runs. Ignatova commented on the run. Test runs are designed to show the skaters' form before the start of the competition, but for now it's worth noting that the girls are in the preparation stage, and an active one at that. Sofia Muravyova's performance didn't go well either. Evgeny Plashenko's student fell gracelessly on her second jump and screwed up her cascade, almost ruining her entire run. She managed to save the deep story of the Black Swan after all. Sonia is a performance master. Next, Daria Sidkova presented her production, for whom the ice was also too slippery. Eteri Tubbers' student suddenly found herself in a horizontal position, a gross, inexplicable mistake in a combination that cost her an entire element. And there was also a butterfly on the flip. Lena Gorbacheva brought a dark mood to the composition madness. She cleanly performed a triple lutz, a double axel, but, like her colleagues, she failed to cope with the cascade. The image was definitely hit, but due to the errors, it is difficult to assess how Lena realizes the choreographic potential of the production. The spectacular Veronika Yamatova is in her repertoire. The new interpretation of flamenco turned out to be very powerful and at the same time passionate. It is noticeable how the athlete worked on her artistry, precision of lines and musical accents. At the same time, one could sense the emerging tenderness, the demonstration of emotions with a touch of romance. In general, Veronika left no one indifferent. Even despite the butterfly on the toe loop and the cascade, she performed the rest of the jumps clearly. Sofia Akateva, like Alina Gorbacheva, appeared at the Yubileni arena after a series of injuries. Tubbers' brilliant student overcame many difficulties to shine in St. Petersburg. Her masquerade was incomparable fast spins, a technical step sequence and a wonderful double with a flip, but the lutz, with which the combination began, was not conquered. Going into the jump at speed, Sonia flew off. It's a shame. Last season's absolute leader Adelia Petrosian presented a unique program to Interlude, performed by Erica Lundman. A very elegant, sensual story, in which Adelia was transformed beyond recognition. Although her gorgeous triple axel remained in place. Terry Tubberts' student did not hesitate and immediately went for the Ultra C, and very successfully. The skater also coped with the triple Lutz without problems, but on the triple flip there was a step out, which ruined the cascade. And yet Petrosian is a great girl, her form is almost optimal. Ksenia Sinicina in a Dark Eastern program once again proved that she can handle all types of heroines. Soft skating, attention to detail, the skater reached a new level. But it was not without flaws. A step out, swing on choreographic elements, there was something to cling to. Anna Frolova closed the first stage of the test skates. Unfortunately, she also failed to stay on her feet. Although she was the only one of all who landed all three jumping elements. But she fell on the step sequence. None of the women showed a clean performance, but Anya was not upset, and, smiling, finished her heartfelt performance to the delight of the audience. Apparently, it is too early to expect breakthrough performances, but we will wait. Free program results. After a successful triple axel, Adelia Petrosian expected to show 2 quadruple jumps, a flip and a toe loop, but it did not work out. The invulnerable Russian champion fell apart before our eyes, and another problem came to light: a not very successful program for a figure skater of her level. If before it seemed that it was impossible to get around her, then not now. Alexandra TRUSOVA's chances have increased dramatically, because, despite the fall from the quad Lutz, her form looks optimal for someone who is still thinking about returning to the sport. It looks like Sasha will change her mind and will fight. As always, by the way. Alina Gorbacheva opened the second day of the Russian national team's test skates, presenting a bright program to the soundtrack from James Bond films. The femme fatale of the famous spy turned out to be incredibly charming and at the same time dangerous. Although it was felt that Alina is still looking for a suitable image, the choreography was not so expressive, but Gorbacheva will clearly get into shape by the real competitions. However, as in the jumping part, the athlete skated cleanly, but the audience never saw the quadruple, as well as half of the 3+3 cascades. Anna Frolova chose the musical Cats for herself, and the audience liked the skater's interpretation. Smooth lines, mesmerizing spins, an interesting step sequence. Anya did everything very well. And she did not have any special problems with the technique. Triple jumps in place, and a small step out on the flip is a simple flaw that does not affect Frolova's preparation for the season. Adelia Petrosian conquered everyone with a triple axel the day before the final performance, and everyone expected the Russian champion to continue the banquet, but it turned out that Terry Tubberts' student was also experiencing serious difficulties. 2 butterflies on quads only confirmed this, as well as difficult triples. As for the choreography, not everything is smooth here either. Adelia danced tango and did everything to look organic in it. Her artistic progress was visible, but the problem, it seems, is in the production itself. The first part seemed empty, there were not enough bright accents and a more expressive change of pace, which is why the performance did not evoke any emotions. Against the background of a slightly dull Petrosian, Ksenia Sinicina's performance, just as languid and measured, to the song Pink Floyd's Shine On You Crazy Diamond, looked full-fledged, competently assembled both technically and choreographically. Ksayasha played with both her face and body, and naturally got the audience going, which began applauding in the middle of the performance. Clean jumps, a magnificent skate, plasticity, everything is wonderful in this unique figure skater. Sofia Akateva, who returned to the ice after a long break, presented a piercing program to the soundtrack from the film Admiral, and did it superbly. Despite the absence of Ultra C due to the consequences of an injury, her form did not raise any questions. Confident triple jumps, which not all participants could boast of, a high level of spins and step sequences, and deep immersion in the image. The fans immediately responded to the changed atmosphere and thanked Sonia for a gorgeous performance with loud cries. The audience is not used to seeing Veronika Yamatova as gentle and refined, because the athlete made herself thanks to powerful, high-speed skating, but in order not to become a hostage to one image, Veronika decided to experiment, and this season showed a lively lyricism in which she looked no worse. Yamatova did not get rid of her signature elements, but organically wove them into a new story, which also touched the hearts of fans. Sofia Muravyova's Rubik's Cube of 2 programs was finally solved. One of Jenny Plashenko's student presented the second part, where she transformed into the White Swan. The mood of this production is radically different from the first, but Sonia's power and strength have not disappeared. At the same time touching and unbroken, Princess Odette fought for her happiness after Otto's machinations. The emotions were so bright that, apparently, it was reflected in Muravyova's composure, who twisted one turn on the Lutz and flip at the end of the performance. The long-awaited appearance of Alexandra Trusova, Ignatova's husband, began with the skater reading a sensual poem. This set the mood for the entire performance to the song, "They Beat Us, We Fly." The athlete did not simplify the content and immediately went for a quad Lutz, but fell. She skated a triple Lutz in the top 3, but didn't allow herself any more mistakes. She focused on the choreography, but it's clear that Sasha is just getting into shape. Slightly slow spins, a timid step sequence. She'll have to work on this, because it's very difficult to come back. The production has potential, although the arrangement of the musical excerpts raises questions. Dariusikova closed the women's performances. Terry Tubberts' student also went for a quadruple, but it also ended in a full. Dasha also lost her footing once, but she didn't lose her head, and finished her performance to Lara Fabian's composition on a good note. Thank you for watching. If you liked the review, please give it a like.